Good morning everyone. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my morning routine, and I thought a lot about how to do this video, but I'm hoping that this is a realistic morning routine for you because I live in the UK and the weather is unpredictable. I work a full-time job and I do work from home, so from that respect it might be something that isn't unrealistic. It is unrealistic for you because I'm not running to get a bus or catch a train. I work from home. I don't have children to run after at the moment, but this is all stuff that I do before 8:30, which is when I start work at home. And I don't get up that early. I get up around 6:30 or 6:45. So this isn't like a 4 a.m. start routine. Maybe I'll work up to that one day. So just remembering that when you're watching other people's morning routines, it isn't about striving for that invisible perfection that they seem to have, but just finding a way to make your morning sacred to you and a peaceful space for you, because I find that there's just a change in the energy in the morning, and if you can make the most of that, even if it's just an extra 30 seconds in the morning, you will be grateful that you did it. So if you take nothing else away from this video, please do not worry about rebuilding a similar routine to this, but hopefully this will give you some ideas of how you can potentially start to build that sacred morning space into your morning routine, however that looks for you. And just before I start, I've never read this book, but I would highly recommend that you read it. I've listened to a podcast of this person speaking, and finding space in your morning can be transformational if you can find that space and find that time. So hopefully that's a useful resource for you as well. So one of the very first things that I do when I wake up in the morning is I just lie there and I listen to the birds. I like to sleep with the window open, so I always yank the curtain back out the way if it's not already open. If possible, it's really good to sleep with your curtains open because you'll wake naturally with the morning light, presuming that you can wake up when the sun is already risen or just rising. And I find this sacred space just listening to the birds and just coming to and just feeling into my body and getting grounded into my physical body is a really, really great way to start the day before I even step out of bed. This is the alarm clock that I used to wake up to. It's called a Lumi light, and this is genuinely one of the best things I ever bought. This Lumi clock basically lights up slowly over a period of around 15 or 20 minutes, so it gently wakes you up. And you can wake up to a wonderful peaceful sound, like I've set mine to birdsong, and it just gets progressively louder and it starts gentle, but it's a really lovely way to wake up in the morning, and it just brings you around slowly and peacefully. One of the first things I really love to do in the morning is actually have a shower. I really find that the running water just helps to cleanse and restore my energies and just wakes my body up for the day. And I don't wash my hair every day. I probably wash it once or twice a week, so this is normally relatively quick. Once I'm out the shower, I then like to put on some really comfy clothes. So I do have the luxury of working from home, so I do like to wear just things that are really comfortable and really soft against my body. I am not down for like super crunchy jeans or anything. If I can get away with it, I will literally wear just sports leggings, yoga leggings, as much as humanly possible, and then get into my cozy slippers. One of the other things that I really love to do in the morning is pull a card, and this could be any kind of oracle card basically. These are the ones that I'm using at the moment. I haven't actually used these in a while, but these are the ones that I'm feeling pulled to. So I'll take some time and just kind of shuffle the cards on the floor and really just ask to be guided and given a card that is, for my highest good and it's going to help me and support me at the moment. And once I have picked a card or several cards, I will then put it on my desk, and it just reminds me to stay centered throughout the rest of my workday. If I'm getting pulled into chaotic meetings or getting stressed out at work, I'll always find that coming back to look at that card that I've pulled in the morning really helps me to just remember the promises that I've set myself that day. These are the other cards that I really like to use. These are by Louise Hay. And these are literally, as they say, how to love yourself cards. They're just really positive and filled with lovely affirmations. I also use the Ascended Master cards a lot, and I rarely pull just one of these cards. I like to pull a number of these cards. So if this is the deck of cards that I'm using, then I need to make a lot of space on my desk. And these cards often come with little booklets which describe the meanings of each of the cards. And of course, this can be interpreted by you according to whatever is happening in your life. And I just find these really helpful, and almost always they relate to something that I am pondering or going through or looking for guidance on. So I just find these really beneficial and really useful as a positive tool. I'll then head to the bathroom and take my retainers out that I've been wearing all night. And I will do some coconut oil pulling. So I don't keep it in my mouth for like 15 or 20 minutes, but I like to give it a good swill around for at least a few minutes. And I just find that this is a really great way for my teeth to feel really clean, really strong, and just really healthy. And this is just something that I have started to do over the past few years, and I really, really love it. I really cannot start my day without filling it with coconut oil. So I would highly recommend that you give it a go. And it definitely seems weird at first, but trust me, I would highly recommend this to anyone. Because also coconut oil is antibacterial, it's a really great way to keep your teeth white apparently as well. If I've been in the shower and washed my hair, the water can dry out my skin, so I like to use this toner spray by Tropic. It's really, really lovely. It's really refreshing on my face, and it just re-moisturizes my face when I've come out the shower. Then I like to moisturize my face, and most days I will use this Soothing Facial Oil by Weleda. So this is an almond facial oil, and I find that this works really well to just deeply nourish and re-moisturize my skin, or I'll sometimes use a bit of coconut oil as well. Once I'm all clean and dressed, I like to head downstairs and do some very glamorous stuff, including emptying the dishwasher and tidying up from dinner the night before usually. And please ignore the casual clothes change here because I film this across multiple days. I'll also do any dishes and stuff like that that needs cleaning, and I really just like to have a clean space in the morning, so I like to get all of this stuff done and out the way for the day. Then I like to make a cup of tea. If you've seen my other videos, you will know that I love to use my whistling kettle in the morning, and I will often have just a normal English breakfast tea in the morning, sometimes a herbal tea, but today I'm going to be having one of these, which is a vanilla chai. So it's kind of like black tea mixed with spices and stuff, and it's just really warming and just really nice to have on a kind of grey morning. So I'm going to go ahead and add some oat milk to this and then boil the other kettle in the background, because I like to take my hot cup of tea outside with a hot water bottle, because it is still pretty cold here in the UK, even though we're entering into spring. And I just find that stepping outside with a hot drink and a hot water bottle is just a really cozy, random thing to do, but I absolutely love it. I love just being outside in the fresh air and just really grounding myself into the earth and just listening to the birds, listening to the morning, and this peace and tranquility really just sets me up for my day. I absolutely love this space, and I cannot imagine starting my day without stepping outside. Then I like to make my breakfast for the day. So as we're getting into spring, I like to have either granola with coconut yogurt and loads of fruit, or I will have a smoothie. So this morning I'm going to be having some granola, and normally I make this myself, but I haven't had a chance to lately. So I'm using this pre-made one by Deliciously Ella, and I like to make this in advance because I like to leave it to kind of soak on the side with the coconut yogurt on it, and I just find that this makes it really tasty, really nice, and much softer. So this is definitely my secret tip to making epic granola. So to make the granola, all I'm doing is adding in that pre-made granola that I mentioned before, and then I'm going to add in some cacao nibs, some sunflower seeds, some pumpkin seeds, some crushed walnuts, some organic blueberries, some passion fruit, some banana, and if that wasn't enough stuff, I'm also adding some strawberries as well. Then I mix all of this up with coconut yogurt. I'll also add some maple syrup to sweeten it as well. And I will then mix this all up into a big modge, and I'll let it sit for about an hour. Once I've prepped my breakfast, I like to do some very, very minimal stretching and yoga, and this is not like a 45-minute practice or anything. I'm literally talking 5 or 10 minutes on the mat just to kind of connect into my body and stretch myself. I really hate to feel stiff and cramped up. I really like to just stretch my body, particularly when I know I'm going to be basically sat at my desk all day with work. So I really like to just take 5 or 10 minutes just to be with my mat and just do some super basic stretches. So I am definitely not going to do a full practice or anything, just whatever feels right to me at the time, just being really gentle with my body because I know that I haven't fully moved around. So just some gentle twists and gentle stretches just to really connect into myself. Then if I have chance and if I'm really feeling the pull to do it, I will go back outside if the weather allows, and I will sit and do some journaling. So on this morning, I basically took my hot water bottle back outside again and made another cup of tea, and I just like to journal whatever comes into my mind. And the word journaling can send shivers down people's spine because it's like, what does it mean? What do I do? But actually it's basically just writing whatever comes into your head, whether that's like something that you want to achieve in the week, whether that's writing down dreams that you've had and you want to make a note of, whether that is writing what you've been up to in your life, what you've learned about, what you've discovered. Sometimes it is basically just putting pen to paper and seeing what comes out, because this is just a really great way to connect into how you're feeling and work through stuff as well. Like I really find this is really useful for me to work through things. And I also just like to make a note of what I've been doing and what has been challenging me and what I've been learning about, because it's really great to look back through these pages and see how far I've come, and also to read things which I know have not come from me. You know, if you just put pen to paper and you just write, sometimes things just come through and you know that it is like higher consciousness speaking to you through you, and you can just look back at the notes and be like, wow, that I do not remember writing that down, but that's really useful, thanks. So yeah, this practice is just something that I really love to do, and again, just taking literally 10 or 15 minutes just to like write any thoughts down. I just really love this. Then I'll do a quick meditation if I can outside, if the weather allows. If not, I'll just sit inside. And again, because I know I've got to start work, I really love to do meditations when I'm not timed, but I might just set a timer on my phone for literally 5 or 10 minutes and just breathe and just connect. Like I'll do a whole separate video on meditation, but it's really not as complicated as it's made out to be. It's basically just sitting still and breathing and just letting whatever thoughts come into your head without judgment and just letting them flow past. And I really love to do this outside if I can, just because it is distracting, your mind is distracting, and I really just like to feel the breeze on my face, feel the sun on my skin, and listen to the bird song. And yeah, I just find that my mind is a lot less chattery when I'm meditating in nature. With all of that done, it's time for me to settle down and start work with a cup of tea in hand and my granola. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content so far. And here's just some final thoughts on morning routines that might be useful for you. To me in the morning, being on my own is really sacred and really important. So for me, I like to have time to adjust to ground myself in the earth, particularly if you're anything like me and you seem to have wild dreams. Sometimes it can take time for you to be like, where am I? And actually remember that you're on the earth again. So I really like to have a grounding, peaceful morning with just a lot of quiet space. I find that I'm really sensitive in the morning, so my worst nightmare is like waking up and walking down the stairs and having to like interact with other human beings. And luckily for me, my partner actually gets up before me, so he is out the way and out the house, so I have the morning just to myself, which I find really important. And I want to caveat all of this footage with that this isn't always easy. I do not wake up feeling full of beans. I do not wake up wanting to jump out of bed and do yoga. And I do not wake up thinking that I'm going to want to step outside. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, I need like another 4 hours of sleep. But for me, I've really found that it has changed my life and it sets me up for such positive days. Whenever I do that, I'm always so grateful that I've done it. I've never once thought, I wish I stayed in bed longer. So just want to say that it isn't always easy to do this, but it's something for me that I found is really powerful, a really wonderful, peaceful time, and a way to really connect and find space in your life. And trust me, it is worth it. That is what I wanted to share with you today.